Hello, hello. What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and we are still doing 31 days of horror movie reviews. And if it seems like I'm not as excited for this review, it's because, yeah, we're still doing the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. That's true. But this time we're at my least favorite of the series. A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, The Dream Child. This came out just 1 year after Part 4, 1989. It's directed by Stephen Hopkins. And the plot. The plot is, at least they brought Alice back, right? Alice and Dan, who are a couple still, and they're happy, they're in love, they just graduated high school, they're about to go off and go on the summer trip to Paris. Alice finds out that she's pregnant. So there's that. But as that is going on, some weird stuff starts to happen. She starts having some dreams again about you know who. But not just that. He is somehow coming back. Like, Alice knows how to fight him off. She's done it once before. But somehow he's coming back another way. He's even coming back while she's awake. Like, she'll be awake and he just shows up and kills one of her friends. Every time I used to watch this movie, I used to dread it. Every time I would say, hey, let's marathon the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Because why not? I would get to Part 5 and go, this one. Mainly because I thought it was boring. I still do. I don't find it as scary. I find it sort of a chore to sit through. I don't like as much of the characters as I want to. For example, Alice, played by Lisa Wilcox, once again. I like that she's back, and I like that they're continuing her story. You could tell she is maturing and getting older and growing up in a lot of ways. And I like that more so towards the end of the movie, you see that strong side to her, but the whole movie you're missing it. I get it. Her life is falling apart. All of her friends are dying once again. She thought she beat it, but he's back. And Dan dies very early on, so she's a wreck. It makes sense, it does. I just wanted to see more of the strong Alice that we got. Fucking A. Like that Alice. Dan dying as early as he does is pitiful. It's sad. I hate it. I do. Obviously, these movies have made it clear that that's just what they do. If a character survives, they'll bring them back and kill them off immediately in the following film. It's a trend. It's what they do. You can't say you're surprised. And sure, his death is creative. I still think they could have done it to where you keep Dan alive. Oh, there's an idea. You keep someone alive from movie to movie. But you could do some of the stuff. He fell asleep at the wheel driving to go get her to save her. But it's just... And they gave him a really brutal, vicious death as well. But when you find out she's pregnant, that's where the more interesting ideas happen. You find out that Freddy is using the unborn baby's dreams to come back, to kill who he's killing. So even though Alice is awake, or other characters might be awake, the baby dreaming is how he's able to get strong and to make the reality seem different. It's hard to tell what's real and what's not in those ways. And I think they could have played that up, though. That's the problem. It's like, it's an interesting idea, and it's really creepy. It's messed up if you think about Freddy using an unborn baby, and even there's a part where he's feeding it souls. I don't know why. I guess to keep the baby happy or to corrupt the baby. I don't know. There's parts where Alice is dreaming about this little boy, Jacob, and she's talking to him. You find out that's eventually going to be her son. I think there's interesting ideas with that. It's just not executed well. It's very lackluster. It's very just sort of straightforward, and here you go. Yvonne is Alice's friend who's a swimmer. She doesn't die, though. I always wondered, like, why did they keep her alive? No offense, I'm not saying I wanted her to die, but I just felt like you killed off Dan to keep this girl alive who I just don't feel anything for or care a whole lot about. The character Mark is really big in the comic books. He draws them. He even draws himself as the superhero, the Prowler, which is cool. In fact, the effect of him falling asleep, going into one of his comic books was pretty cool. And then he fights Freddy in the comic book realm, Super Freddy, which is, sure, it's very cheesy. In fact, a lot of Freddy's lines and jokes and dialogues are so cheesy and so unfunny, which then makes him unscary, and it sort of hurts the mystique of Freddy. At least if he cracked a joke in a one-liner in the last couple movies, if it made me laugh, I was just like, whatever, fine, it made me laugh, cool. But this time he's just doing it just to do it, and he says bitch to everyone, so that loses its luster. Greta is a girl who her mom is hard on her about her weight and wanting her to maintain her figure and her looks. Her death is just him shoving food down her throat, and that could have been something interesting. I know originally it was supposed to be him cutting her intestines and stomach out and feeding that to her, and that's really fucked up. I think there's a deleted scene of that, but they had to change it, rework it, and then they made her face swollen, filled with food, and it looks goofy and cartoony, so that loses steam. Like Freddy's rebirth scene, I thought was stupid. Him, the little baby Freddy, running around and going into the clothes and being reborn. I'm like, I get what you're doing, but I don't care. And they bring the mother back, Amanda Kruger, the nun, and they bring some more mythology into it. This is where it became most clear that these movies are just being made as they go along. There's no plan, there's no outline, there's no layout. Oh, the last movie made a shitload of money. Okay, we'll make another one. We'll start from scratch. Oh, we just have to finagle a way to bring Freddy back from the dead, even though we said this was the definitive way to kill him last time. But no, he just comes back with no explanation. Oh, we have to figure out another definitive way to kill him. So the nun is saying that, oh, if you set my remains free, then I can stop him. I can hold him back. And it's like, well, wait a minute. In the third movie, you told that psychiatrist that all you had to do was bury and put holy water on his bones. Now you're saying it's this? Were you lying before? Or are these writers and producers not giving a fuck about continuity? So yes, this movie is frustrating. The scene of Freddy coming out of Alice's body is just fucking weird and weird.
Man, this some more bullshit.
It's my least favorite of the movies. It's the one that when I get to, I almost want to skip over. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of The Dream Child? Do you agree with me that it's lame as fuck? Or do you enjoy it somehow? Is there another nightmare movie that's your least favorite? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!